If that pill was to fix your depression and what you got going on, you should only have to take that pill one time and it solves your depression. No, because the pills have no control over what you allow your mind to dwell on. A pill can't do that. I don't care. Take a pill. I'm just going to tell you something from off there, what I know from streets. Let's just say family members. They would sit there and smoke a huge blunt and be high and be sitting there feeling good, smiling. But if we came in there crying about, when I say crying, I'm talking about complaining about, oh, it's too hot outside, such and such hit me, they will get mad and be like, I'm about to whoop y'all butt because y'all are out here making all this ruckus and y'all messing with my high. That's what some of my male relatives would say. You know, they get mad because we about to mess up their high. Now, if we went there to mess up their high, they feeling good, but we can mess up their high. I've had patients before that took their medication. They felt a lot better because they had their Xanax or whatever like that. I don't know, some of this antidepressant stuff. So if you talked about a situation that would upset the way that they feel, they would get mad like, oh my God, stop. I took my Xanax, I'm feeling good right now. I don't want to hear that right now. I don't see. My point is that no matter what, it releases hormones to cause you to feel good, but it doesn't mean that you are good mentally. You get what I'm saying? So that's the trick behind a lot of this stuff. Now, how do you overcome it? How do you overcome it? Again, you look for positive avenues. There's people on this channel, I call it, I don't know, I just made that up. I'm like I said, Team MRM. You know, people on here are here to help. It's a natural thing in human beings to want to help other human beings anyway. I mean, if you don't believe me, all you do, I mean, look how emotionally we get when we see something wrong on TV. Look how emotionally disturbed we get when we see like racism going on. I mean, unless you are racist and you don't care, but I'm saying this, if you see racism going on, you see somebody being done wrong, it makes you emotionally mad. You instantly get hot. That's why they got those shows out there like What Would You Do? You see, because they know that it triggers human beings because naturally we want to help. But when it comes to things like dealing with depression and dealing with issues in life, how do we get to where in modern society we seem like we have a harder time dealing with these things than, let's just say, 500 years ago? You know, what did the Jews have to deal with the depression after seeing their families being gassed and all that? What did the children of Israel have to deal with when they was in slavery for 400 some odd years? You know, what did the Africans have when they were in slavery for 500 some odd years, seeing their kids being sold off and being whipped and hanged and all this stuff like that? What did they have to deal with their depression? See, that's my point. We're supposed to be strong as Americans. Not saying that we aren't, but mentally, how strong are we? Because it seems like we can easily be gotten mentally because we're so easy to cave into our situations. We let it get to us. And I'm telling you right now, I'm not downing anybody out there that's dealing with depression. I'm not. But all I'm simply saying is this. The more you dwell on it, the more you go towards that way. Some people say, yeah, but even when I don't dwell on it, I still feel. How do you know you still feel? How do you know that you still feel it? How do you know that? Because you think about it. You know what I'm saying? So, do things that actually do the opposite of that. You know what? If you got some real salty water or something like that, I don't know why I'm using an example, but if you have some real salty water, to make the water less salty, don't you add more water to it? The more water you add to it, the less salty it becomes. So all I'm simply saying is this. The more positive things you add into your life while you're dealing with depression, the less the depression is going to be there to where it's going to dwindle down and not be there. Oh, that's not true. Yes, it is, people. I'm telling you, it's true. You talking about somebody that actually seen murder in my face, seen robbery, seeing women getting beat, you know, I mean, seeing folks getting shot, seeing police beat folks, seeing the police get beat by people, you know, having Jesse Jackson have to come to our school and all this because of a big old huge school football fight and us being out of school for a week, having the riot police walk through the hallways. I mean, crazy stuff that can weigh on you. But what I liked about it is that there was somebody there that could sit there and catch it right when it happened. I don't you do that, so I'm gonna give y'all an example too. It's funny this. It's funny how this little analogy I'm getting ready to give y'all. Whenever my sons were little, it's not an analogy, it's just the truth. When my sons were little, to teach them to be strong boys, you know, kids would do things and they would fall and hurt themselves. When my son would be outside playing or doing something like that, he would fall and hurt himself, and I could just see him. And my wife would come out there, she'd go, "Oh my God, what happened? Did you hurt yourself?" He'd start started doing like that. She's like, oh my God, you cut your seat. Just come. But then that same thing can happen where this particular same instance like this happened. My son was out playing. This is my son. I said it already. But anyway, he was out playing. He fell down and scraped himself, and he looked at it. He looked at me, and he just kind of. I was like, "Come on, be strong. You got it. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. Let me see it. Oh, look at you. You got a nice little scar there. Yeah, let's go in the house and let's go in the house and wipe it off and get him there. That's a big boy. Give me pound it up. You a big boy. That's strong. See, because Daddy got scars on him too. When I was like you, I got scars, and yeah, you know that you a strong boy. Ooh, good job for not crying. So he come in. I'm wiping a little tissue, wiping off with a little tissue, and my wife, is he bleeding? What happened? He is. See, that's what I'm saying. The minute she got him to focus on how bad his issue was, look how hard he got drawn into it. So you see what I'm saying? Words of encouragement. People, Team MRM, you guys, leave comments on this page to encourage this woman. Let her see that there's people. Look, we don't have to know each other to love each other. Love is not necessarily a thing that's based on familiarity. So if not, Christ so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. You guys all know that. So when they say Christ so loved the world, how did he love the world? He gave his only begotten son, that through him, you ain't gonna go into all the scriptures on that, but my point in saying all that is that love is not necessarily just an emotional thing, it's an action word. I love everybody. Whether you hate me or not, I still love you no matter what. And I love you by my actions that I give. So in your case, subscribers, listeners, y'all leave some encouraging words on this page so this woman can see this, to know that there's people that out there that do love her, even though you don't have to necessarily know her. That's what I love about what I do, is that encouraging and increasing human beings' well-being is one of the greatest things that you can do in this life. That's what Jesus did. He encouraged, healed, fed. That's what he did. And if he did that, he saw that it was the utmost important, then I think that in this life, for me, I'm not saying for everybody else, that's what I think is the utmost important, is helping other human beings increase their lives. I know we've been taught the American dream, which all in part nobody know that that's actually an American nightmare. You go to college, you get debt, you get out, you get a job, and you still pretty much haven't started to pay off your debt. Then you might, it all depends on how you do. You get married, you get a house, you get a car, you do all these things when you spend the next 20 some odd years trying to pay your way out of debt. Now you can live. I'm sorry I got off on that, but I'm gonna get back onto this depression thing. So you understand what I'm saying? Is that you can do it. I'm telling you, you can. You can get past the mental anguish that you're going through. You just got to direct your mind on more positive things. Find positive people to be around. And I know I'm not necessarily telling you to go to a church. I'm telling you to simply go around groups of people that actually just be around positive people. I wish I can be around you so I can explain this to you, so I can let some of this come off on you, which I hope that it is coming off on you. See, that's the problem with a lot of TV programs, is that they sell you a false hope. And I'm not selling you a false hope. Whether you believe in God or not, if you do believe in God, I'm simply asking you to talk to him. Cry. Yell. Tell him you don't understand. Tell him you hurt him. Okay? So this is Ty Smith, my Renaissance Man. I hope that gave you a little bit of insight. I'm getting ready to check out here. I hope you guys all have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I hope and pray that every last one of you are in great health. God bless you all in Jesus' name.